Welcome to a very special AUS Pro. Tonight we present Generations, a night with our biggest main event yet. Because tonight, it is a true battle of the generations. Steely veteran Tommy Hellfire, a man who has been making a mockery of the younger generation, will defend his PCW National Championship against one of the leaders of the new generation in the form of Owen Steadman. Steadman's biggest match to date as he aims to win the longest running active championship in Australia today.
A truly incredible main event, but the rest of the card is nothing to sneeze at, with 7 more hard-hitting contests, including a first-time clash between JJ Furno and Emmanuel, as well as a big fight between first-class Aysha and the returning Queen of Queensland, Tessa Armstrong. But, speaking of queens, let's throw it down to Gemstone for our opening contest.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Lord Andy Coyne and I am here with Ryan Betson, and what an opening contest we have got here at Generations tonight when Prince Shen from PCW fame enters the Central Ringwood Community Centre tonight to take on our own powerhouse, Zhan Wen. First time ever.
What an incredible way to open a show like this. It has been an absolute pleasure, it's been an absolute blast to be able to sit here and chat with yourself, Andy, for a number of shows. But we are back, as you mentioned, at the Ringwood Community Centre. First time, what are the people in for today?
Well, let's say we've got 8 matches on the card tonight, and there's a lot. Oh, wait, Jen's talking. Please stop talking. Don't get me wrong, I wear the trousers around here, but Jen tells me what colour to wear.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I was going to say, we've got 8 huge matches here tonight, lots of things to look forward to. As we said at the top of the programme, Aysha will be taking on Tessa Armstrong as a follow-up at what happened at our last event. And of course, we've got the debut of not one, but 2 big teams in the Pursuit and the Canby Collection. But in our main event, Owen Steadman will get a shot at the PCW National Championship when he tries to shut up Tommy Hellfire. Now, Ryan, I hope you appreciate the fact that this show is the first AUS Pro show to take place in the evening, and I therefore had to shell out for a lighting rig. And doesn't he look beautiful?
I did notice that. I failed to check my watch. However, I got told to be here at a certain time and I arrived. And look, I couldn't have arrived at a better time. Mr. Wen, he's back, he's the power, he's looking even better than last time we saw him up against Nate Hunter.
Correct. I was going to say it's the beautiful tights that do it, but obviously, as you can see from Zhan Wen, sculpt like a Greek god. The one-man dynasty, in the last time we saw him was at our very first show, Kickstart the Heart, when he took on promising youngster Nate Hunter. Unfortunately for Nate Hunter, by the end of it, he wasn't looking quite so promising when he was a smear in the match. But hey, look, Nate Hunter, he'll be back, don't you worry. So it's worth mentioning Zhan Wen, obviously trained at the Vicious Pursuit School. He is trained by none other than Vicious Pursuit's own Carlo Cannon. And there's a lot of similarities between the two. Lots of high impact power and surprising agility for a big man, a very formidable opponent. But if I can say one thing about Shen, Prince Shen, he's a cheeky little bugger. He knows exactly how to take every shortcut possible to get the victory. We have seen him sleaze his way to victory several times in both Slam and Ignition shows over at PCW. Colorado tie-up! And there's the raw power of Zhan Wen.
See, this is one of the things I love about coming here to AUS Pro and being very lucky to sit here and have a chat with yourself, talk about the matches. Individuals like Prince Shen, like Mr. Wen, these individuals I have never seen outside of an AUS Pro ring.
And you should be blackballed from the entire industry.
Absolutely, absolutely, that's what I'm getting at. These are some of the incredible talent that we get to have here at these shows. And look, stopping each other in their tracks. Not a single bit of movement.
I was going to say, you can tell by looking at Shen, he's not exactly a slouch in the gym, but I mean, Zhan Wen used to previously call himself the Great Wall of China for a very good reason. It's going to be very difficult to knock him down.
Third time's the charm, pumped himself up.
He's ready for this. Oh, kicked him in. Like I said, cheeky little bagger. Anyway, off the ropes, and Zhan Wen, the raw power, shoulder blocking him into a multiverse dimension. Shen now trying to take a tactical rest in the corner, but Zhan Wen is not going to allow it.
On that middle rope, blows to the face.
Oh, what's this? Zhan Wen's got something else in mind, just driving the shoulder deep into the solar plexus there of Prince Shen. And now a runaway train!
Oh, my God.
Deep into the abdominals. And he doesn't have that protective beer gut like me and you have, Ryan.
That is the one advantage we have. Look, if anything, any sort of major midsection damage, you and I are nicely safe. However, I think even in our best day, Andy, a good spear tackle into the midsection from Mr. Wen is not something I don't think we'll be able to take a pin attempt.
Shoots the cover, and he drove the forearm deep into the side of his skull there. But Prince Shen able to dig deep and kick out.
One of the things that I notice when I'm watching matches is the pin attempts, right? How they do it. That deep push, like hard onto the face of Prince Shen. Normally, kind of just cover the shovers or hook the leg. Wen knew exactly what he was doing. He wanted him down. The amount of energy that the Prince had to use to get out of that, smart tactic.
Absolutely, and Prince Shen there with the rake in the eye, and now throws Wen into the steel corner post. And this is what I was talking about. Shen, he may not be as big as Zhan Wen, but I'll tell you one thing, he definitely knows how to bring him down to his level, that being the gutter, of course.
And a huge kick to the spine.
You see there that Zhan Wen covering the back of his head, a kick out at one, and I think Prince Shen is very amused by the kick out at one.
Absolutely, even that sort of fold him in half, yet still able to kick him out. He's it feels like he's measuring his opponent, if anything.
Look, obviously, whenever you're in a wrestling contest, I mean, I'm a four-time British champion. Don't know if you know that. No, four-time, baby.
How many times?
4 times.
Oh, wow.
I've said that 5 times now. You ruined the whole thing. But I was going to say, obviously, every time you're in the ring, every pinfall, submission attempt, you're trying to win, but at the same time, you're trying to keep a regular measure of your opponent. Those kickouts, they get weaker. They find it harder to get out of your holds. And in this case, your hand stings a little less, but Prince Shen just realised what an absolute brick wall of a man. Zhan Wen! That was spicy.
You nearly cleaved him in half. Prince Shen doing the best he can to get to his feet.
You have to ask yourself, as the promoter of AUS Pro, did I put this match together because I wanted to see Shen get beaten pillar to post? Maybe.
Look, when I imagine when you're putting a show together, you're thinking about how this is going to go, what's going to be incredible matches. Some part of you has to think, who is going to come out of this the worst?
I'm not saying
just in scenarios like that.
I was going to say, kicking the middle rope right into the bridge of his nose. And I don't care how tall you are, I don't care how big your chest muscles are. You get the steel rope smacked right against the bridge of your nose. You're going to be crying like you're cutting onions.
Absolutely. And look, and I know it's a very common sort of misnomer within the wrestling space. We call them the ropes, but they are not ropes. As you said, they are steel cables just wrapped in a sort of tape, getting that into your face, or as we saw a moment ago, getting that drilled into your neck.
Shen missing that back elbow, and Zhan Wen is now taking control here, just taking down Prince Shen. Launches him off the ropes with effortless ease, picks him up, sidewalk slam, well executed. And Zhan Wen, undoubtedly one of the best heavyweights we have got in our division.
Absolutely, and the strength at which he slammed Shen into the mat, you'd think he would have gone for one of those pin attempts. However, choosing not to.
Prince Shen.
Swinging neck breaker coming out from Shen, though.
I mean, great technique there. I mean, he knew exactly what he was doing. He waited for the moment, he caught him, and Prince Shen, he's rolling the dice. He's rolling the dice, and he's going to see if he can get a natural 20 here by flying from the top rope. Yes, Dungeon.
Oh, dear reference, now I'm back in the game.
Drops the elbow!
Oh my God!
Oh, in the larynx! Not sure entirely how legal that was. 2!
Wow.
He stayed down just a little bit longer that time.
I was going to say, those first couple of pin attempts from Shen, we had Mr. Wen kicking out at the better part of one, barely one even. However,
I reckon he rolled an 18.
That's a solid run. No buffs though, he just came out pretty clean.
Slap to the back of the head, which I wouldn't do if Zhan Wen was at full comprehension. Off the ropes, runaway steam track. Oh no! Oh no! Zhan Wen just took him out with that solid clothesline. And I think this is it. Zhan Wen is looking to end this and make a massive statement. Prince Shen looks out on his feet.
Sets him up for the muscle buster.
Oh, if he hits this, I reckon he's a goner. Jumps him down hard. Oh, just compacting the spine.
Hooks the leg, push the chest.
He's got it.
There it is. Now we saw some moments of Prince Shen, that cockiness that you were alluding to before, that cheekiness as he made his way to the top.
I refer to him as a little bugger.
And a little bugger as well. However, that cockiness may have drifted into a line of a little bit of arrogance, as you mentioned up there. Did manage to clip him across the jaw, but if anything, it aggravated him.
I was going to say, I mean, he stabbed the angry bear with a big pointy stick. And Zhan Wen just hooked the inside leg and got the win. And you know what? Zhan Wen's been talking a lot in the back because he suspects that maybe a championship belt may emerge at some point soon. And I know that he's sniffing around to find out, because if there's one thing that's eluded him, is a significant championship here in Australia. And could Oz Pro be the place where he finally wins it? Anyway, coming up next, it's going to be Aysha taking on Tessa Armstrong.
This next match is a singles match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first.
Look, when there's a wrestler that is as good, that is as brilliant, that is as strong as someone like the Queen of Queensland, Tessa Armstrong, Andy, I have no reason to second guess you as to why you brought her back.
Well, let's be honest, she main evented our last show, reaching the brass ring, where she attempted to wrestle away. One moment.
She is the Queen of Queensland Wrestling.
I need to behave. Jen is going to have my guts for Gartons if I speak
Oh
over.
man, the
Anyway.
daggers we got a moment ago.
Anyway, I was going to say, she main evented our last show and she attempted to wrestle the OPW Women's Championship away from Erica Reed. She was unsuccessful, but it was a hell of a contest. And it was after that match that Aysha came out to attack both of the women who were in that match. Why? Because Aysha was jealous and annoyed and angry and all the other negative emotions for not being in that main event. Erica Reed, we called her the best that Victoria has to offer, and Aysha took serious exception to that. And so now she wants to give Tessa Armstrong a taste of who she believes is the true best in Victorian wrestling. And there it is. Thank you very much, Jack, our editor, for getting it. As you can see here, Erica with the victory. Beautifully done, retaining the OPW Women's Championship. Ooh. And yeah, Tessa Armstrong wasn't exactly gracious in losing there. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Aysha is in the house tonight, and her soul is as ugly as the sneer she just gave the crowd.
Saying that though, Tessa staring holes through the first class Aysha.
I was going to say, neither of these competitors have ingratiated themselves with the audiences here in Australian wrestling. But let's be honest, it's going to be a drag-out fight, so who cares?
It's only going to go one way.
I mean, we can obviously see the size difference
I was going to
here.
say, bold strategy, Cotton.
Look, if there's one thing I say about Aysha, and it's something I regularly say on commentary whenever I'm commentating on one of the matches, she is a fantastic strategist.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean, it looks like she's making some poor choices right now. But saying that, I know her long game. Oh, there you go. She's found a way. She went for the back of the leg off the ropes for Tessa Armstrong. One of the most powerful women who have competed here in AUS Pro Wrestling. Just laying the boots to her.
It's one of those things that now, as you mentioned earlier in our previous match, in a previous match here on the show, I should say, as a former champion yourself,
4-time baby,
you would understand that sometimes you do have to take that little bit of a hit just in order to feel and find where you stand across from an opponent. Try that again, sorry, let me get there. Especially, someone like Tessa Armstrong.
No, not when you were as agile as me.
Oh, of course.
I never took any of that. Anyway, big backbreaker there from Tessa Armstrong, dropping her hard right onto the knee, trying to basically Bane and Batman her, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
References.
Love it. Absolute nightfall up in here. Aysha slaps Tessa Armstrong, kind of regrets it. Instead, drops her into that middle buckle.
But I think Aysha is so sharp in that ring, intellectually speaking. You know, ring IQ, all the other cliches. But she saw that Tessa was coming towards her and was able to trip her into the post and get back ahead. And meanwhile, Tessa Armstrong is finding herself from underneath, and she tends to use her power to try and get back into it, trying to find some refuge in the middle of the road. So unfortunately, Aysha just trying to choke her out again on those steel cables that we call ropes.
That strategy coming through, pushing it to the very last moment in that 5 count.
I mean, obviously, any competitor needs oxygen, but generally speaking, the larger the opponent, the more oxygen they need. You drape her throat over that top rope, you are robbing her of oxygen.
Absolutely, and contrary to popular belief, breathing, quite important.
It's one of my top 5 favorite hobbies. Armstrong launches Aysha into the corner.
Look, I wouldn't put it that high, but that's cool.
Anyway,
Aysha with the upper hand, double stomp onto those ropes once again.
Aysha just booting her out in the back of the head and now kicking her inside the head. It's almost like she's aiming for the head. She's trying to keep her, goes to the cover, kick out at 2. It's like Aysha's trying to keep her discombobulated.
Yeah, that's right. If you take the ability of your opponent to breathe, whether it's if it's a larger individual, you take out their legs, take out their brain, then take out the head, do that damage, you are going to be unaware of where you are, what's next, where are you coming from, complete upper hand.
In fairness, if somebody takes out your brain, you're staying down for a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah, look, in true Hannibal fashion, like, it's just references all over the place. It's not going to go well for you, just like that.
Aysha's face spoke volumes there. She did not like getting slammed face first into that mat.
Watch the hair. Come on.
The official is very brave. It's easy to say watch the hair when you've got like a buzzkill around the back and the sides of your head. Anyway, Tessa Armstrong now sitting deeply, and we've obviously talked about her size and weight advantage over Aysha. She's got the arm bar, she's sitting down, she's trying to hyperextend the shoulder point. Aysha able to slip out and grabbing the hair once again. I suppose what's good for the gander is good for the gander.
Absolutely. We're starting to see some of those little bits of those questionable tactics, quote unquote, coming out of Aysha. Saw that with the hair grab, some of the choices, even just how she entered the ring, the behavior, like that from a psychological space.
Drives her face once again right into the corner post. And this is where the power of Tessa Armstrong is coming into play.
Absolutely. All the mind games you could think of in the world are really helpful until you have to get up and square up. And we say if you're across the ring from someone like Tessa Armstrong, you best be quick, you best be strong. And Aysha is many of those things, but as of right now, Tessa with the upper hand.
And this is it. And now she's slowed down the contest. She's like stepping on her hand. She is controlling the pace. And we saw with her match against Erica Reed at our last show when she was competing for the OVW Women's Championship, we saw that when she was able to slow down the contest, take control, that's when she was at her best.
Absolutely.
I mean, Tessa Armstrong, since coming to AUS I'm not sure what she did there, but it looks
like a poke in the eye.
A big right hand there from Aysha, and a big clubbing. Like I said, You can tell there's a lot of anger and frustration with both competitors out of what came out of our last show, reaching the brass ring. And both of these competitors now, it's almost like it is a fight. It doesn't feel like a wrestling match. It feels like a slugfest.
It's one of those things that you have to face, and I'm sure you can speak to it as the promoter, the one person. Sorry, try that again. The person putting these matches together. Wow, I'm fumbling over my words. It's just look what I get to come in and see. Look what I get to watch. Even though it's my job to come here and use my words, it turns out I can't do it very well.
Drops her again hard onto the back of the knee, and now just stretching the spine while screaming out into the audience.
Knee to the side of Tessa's face.
Beautifully
Second.
done. Right into the side there. And Aysha able to find the exit. I mean, Aysha's quite a flexible competitor, so obviously she was able.
My God.
I was going to say, calm down, love.
That is like some visceral, deep anger. Oh, now I remember my point from before.
Oh,
as yourself, the individual putting all these incredible shows together. Sadly, not everyone can be in that main event position. So I can understand the frustration and the anger from someone like Aysha. But you would imagine, even with herself being an incredibly proficient and prolific wrestler within this state, she would understand that, right?
Absolutely, and as for Tessa, you know, she missed out on the OPW Women's Championship. That would have guaranteed her many a main event across all states.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Aysha now trying to go for a sunset flip, and Tessa Armstrong just proving just too large for her to flip over. And
oh, nobody home. Aysha ducks out in time.
You can see the cogs moving very quickly in Aysha's head, telling her to move out of the way. Off the ropes, and a high kick to the side of the head. And Tessa Armstrong is rocked here. Snapmare down, off the ropes. Aysha, a variation of a Shining Wizard, hooks that inside leg too, but the powerful legs of Tessa Armstrong just forcing her way out of that pinfall.
A solid sequence from Aysha, taking advantage of that small window, that small moment.
Aysha going for the first class DDT, but it's like she was struggling to clasp her hands, and Tessa Armstrong now whips her off, and a wheelbarrow into a roll up. Oh, almost. That was 2.5. I thought she got it then. That was a tough call from the official.
Ref Dylan, you can see as he had to deliver the bad news to Aysha, a bit of fear in his eyes. But all I'm seeing is anger out of Tessa. Oh my God.
Oh, follows through into the corner. It's almost like Aysha finally couldn't catch up with her own thought, and it costed her. And now Tessa Armstrong slams her down, goes for the cover, puts all the weight on the shoulders.
Kick out at two, folded her up like a lawn chair. Aysha pulls Aysha up from the hair, sends her into that far corner.
And driving now, the shoulders deep into the midsection once again. And Aysha has really been taking quite a bit of punishment in this contest right now. And this could be Tessa's game if she can maintain this, but oh wait!
Roll up
Aysha
again.
now, roll up, feet on the rope!
Whoa!
Oh, there it is! And that's what I mean by the strategist. She remembers the goal. It's 1, 2, 3. 3 seconds. It's all she needed. And Tessa is furious. She's not only lost to Erica Reed on our last show, she's now lost to Aysha. And Tessa Armstrong must be trying to do the maths in her head of the chances of her coming back to Victoria in this race.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot of frustration and anger here, but there you see it. At first I didn't quite see it, but there you go. Feet on the middle rope, and it was a done deal, ladies and gentlemen. Aysha victorious here tonight.
Your next match is a singles match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first.
Gotta tell you, what an honor it is to have a competitor of the quality of the Heat Seeker himself, Jake Taylor, possibly one of the best new heavyweight who's making it onto the Australian wrestling scene. And he is ready for a fight. And when I say fight, I mean fight. Because his opponent tonight, first time ever, I know I'm really good at it, he's going to be taking on the Jurassic Punk, Syd Parker. A match that many have thought would be a dream contest. And we're going to see right here tonight whether it is a dream or whether it's become a bloody nightmare, because these are two tough hombres. That's interesting. If you watch a lot of Jake Taylor's social media, you think, this is a nice guy, he's quite funny, but the truth is, he was trained by Tox Farley down in the New Zealand, New Japan dojo.
Oh, wow.
This man has made one of the toughest journeys to get to the ring here in Australia. And trust me, he is a tough, tough competitor, already a Wrestle Rock champion, so he's certainly no stranger to significant success.
However, an individual that I admittedly have only seen a handful of times, but every time have I been nothing but impressed. And I could not be happier to see him here at AUS Pro Wrestling.
I've unfortunately had far too many experiences with Syd Parker, which is why I've got Zhan doing the ring announcing tonight, and I'm here behind the commentary table. I have known this man for over 10 years, and he is just aggressive, he is just violent, he is unpredictable. And the thing is, in the last 10 years, this man has never slowed down and he's never shied away from anarchy and chaos.
I do have an incredible little trinket on my shelf in my lounge room, my wall of memories I call it, Andy, where I put all these awesome things that I've experienced with myself, my friends, my family. Lovely little trinket from Syd Parker that my son was gifted at one of his first ever wrestling shows.
Was it an eyeball from his opponent?
No, it was a cool little voodoo cross looking thing.
Oh, cute!
With Syd's little head on the top. It's lovely. I believe it's good luck. I certainly hope it's good luck. It's been in my house this whole time. However, my son loves it and utterly adores it.
I'm curious if your son were to tickle it, whether Syd would actually giggle in the middle of the match.
If only I was at my house, I quickly run up and get it and tickle it. However, we are here.
But yeah,
Community Centre.
these are two guys I desperately wanted to get into an AUS Pro Wrestling ring individually. But the fact that I was able to get them in a contest together, I mean, yeah, I love my job.
Come on, Syd.
And look, you know, there are reasons why I put these matches together. I'm thinking of the future. I want to weed out the weak, so to speak. I want to build one of the strongest heavyweight divisions going. And these are two tremendous competitors, but they've never been tested against one another. And I want to see who is the better man or the better dinosaur. Jake, is this mind games? Is this naivety?
Oh, huge boot to Taylor.
I was going to say Syd Taylor. Syd Taylor? God, that's terrifying. Anyway, Syd Parker, obviously a man who is all gas and no brakes. And look at him, just biting away at Jake Taylor. And I know for a fact that the official could very well okay, thank you, Syd. Family show. But anyway, I know that the official might have a very tough evening here tonight, keeping control of this contest. Looks the clothesline off the ropes, jumps that sleep off the ropes again, and a front drop kick, beautifully executed. And look at that, a double stomp into the midsection, and another just reckless abandonment.
Now, you mentioned a moment ago that with AUS Pro, you hope to build the future an incredible division here. However, as you mentioned, you've known Syd Parker for the better part of 10 years. For those like myself who may have limited experience with both these gents, what's some of their history that brings us to this moment right now?
As you say, thing is, these two men have never crossed paths, and that's really quite astounding when you think of all the other promotions putting on such incredible cards at the moment. Syd Parker throwing, and then a climbing head kick, beautifully beautifully executed. I think for Syd Parker, he is a true traveling man. He is traveling all over the country, competing wherever he is welcomed or where he hasn't burnt a bridge from being far too violent. Jake Taylor, meanwhile, he is known as being a general badass, but then again, using the referee as a shield, he has shown himself to be incredibly intelligent as well.
Oh my God!
And honestly, I think for Jake Taylor, when he entered the wrestling scene, having come out of Tuck Farlow School over in New Zealand, yeah, he positioned himself as a black trunk wearing badass mother, you know what. But he's found an ability to sort of almost trick his opponents into a sense of false security with a little bit of humor and a little bit of sort of like a bouncy attitude, shall we say. But the truth is that Jake Taylor is incredibly dangerous. And I said at the beginning of this match, probably one of the best new heavyweights to have entered the scene. And Jake Taylor truly fighting a heavyweight here. He's firing shots into the mix section. Big body slam there. And Jake Taylor now is entering a new gear in this contest. Hooks that outside leg. Kick out there from Syd Parker. And you can see Jake Taylor possibly getting a little bit frustrated now. Trying to almost center himself, I suspect.
Seems to like try to center himself by mocking Syd Parker.
The thing is, you're practically facing the entire primordial ooze itself when you're in there against Syd Parker. It's wild, it's unpredictable, it's toxic, and that is Syd Parker to a T. Jake Taylor now sort of taking his time, just trying to gather his thoughts, and Syd Parker just slashing out wildly. And I think for Jake Taylor, maybe he's not quite sure what to make of Syd Parker. But a kick to the side of the head is always a good way to go. Look at him now, just mounted with those side punches right to the top of the head. And this is what I suspected was going to happen with this contest. Grinding him down, it's just a vicious fight.
Taylor slowing it down with that side headlock. And just blasting that potentially copyrighted music into the ear of Syd Parker.
I'm going to upload this onto YouTube later.
Let's get that real dodgy recorder version.
It is worth mentioning that for Jake Taylor, despite holding the championship at the moment, oh, look at that, the biting there from Syd Parker. Jake Taylor, kick to the midsection. Syd finally able to get that separation. And look at that, deep six. Brought him up high and dropped him down hard. The thing I was going to say, for Jake Taylor, although he is already a holder of a significant championship, a victory over Syd Parker would mean the world to him. If you look at all the titles that Syd Parker has won over his career, it would be certainly significant. But it looks like Jake Taylor might be looking to kick his head off and wasn't able to get it. Syd Parker now. Going for a big shotgun drop kick. Wasn't able to get it. Beautiful single leg drop kick, driving right to the skull end. 3-0.
Kick out at 2, however. Jake Taylor looking a little bit worse for wear. A bit of doubt possibly seeping in.
And certainly not a place you want to find yourself with Syd Parker. But it could be that he's never faced anyone quite this violent and aggressive. I mean, we have seen fighting, and now Jake Taylor himself is starting to cross that line. And the official is having to step in to try and calm him down. You've got to remember, at the end of the day, yes, we enjoy watching them get it on, but at the same time, this is a wrestling contest. It has rules.
Absolutely, it has rules, it has regulation, it has things that you need to follow. That includes respecting that referee, their count. What they say is sacred. It's sanctum saying. Taylor grabbing Parker by the jaw.
Might be trying to go for a big tree slam, but wait! Syd Parker got the cover. 2! Kick out there by Taylor. Jake Taylor, he landed on his feet.
Catches it.
I have never seen that. Incredible agility there from Syd Parker. He almost ate the clothesline just so he could flip through. One big shotgun drop kick, and I thought he was going for another, but able to catch himself on the second rope. Tornado DDT, and both men are down. Official checking on both competitors, and oh my goodness, that adrenaline spike from Syd Parker.
Gets him to his feet first, makes his way to the corner, gets up to the top, Andy.
I was going to say, this man can fly like a pterodactyl. I dread to think what he has in mind. The talons drop down hard right into the spine.
Giant
Hooks the inside leg, he's got it. 2, and so no.
Kick out at 2.
Come on, Ryan, we've been watching this match. How many times have we fought? That's it, that's the 3.
Look, it's not certainly not the first time, and I also have a feeling it may not be the last. I think these two gents will take themselves to the absolute limit. However, Parker calling the kill shot, picks up Taylor by his hair.
Oh, it looks like he's going for an inverted overhead DDT. Oh, Jake Taylor's got his thumb in his eye. Got his thumb in his eye. He just tried to remove his eyeball.
Smart awareness from Taylor, though. On the other side, the ref unable to see.
Oh, and now Jake Taylor, his frustration has finally boiled over, biting at his face. And Syd Parker retaliating with a bite of his own.
It is chomp v chomp.
I think the official might have actually lost control of this contest right now. Because these two are just literally
He's doing the best he can. He's getting as close as he can to those 5 counts, but these gents just cannot keep their mouths off one another. But he's bumped back.
I was going to say, as the official was trying to figure out what was going on, he just got a Warren elbow in the back
he calls
of his
it.
head. I think he has. I'm not sure if this was a disqualification or a no contest. I'll check with him afterwards. But right now, we could really do with getting some people down there to try and sort this out. And there we've got some of our ringside security and also our producer, David, a.k.a. DCT of Scottish wrestling fame.
Good to see the man back after a long time away.
A beautiful man, but right now, I'm more concerned about all the competitors in the ring right now. Oh, there you go,
there
Jen.
It is, double disqualification.
Jen called it, there you go, a double DQ. Neither man victorious here tonight. And Syd Parker able to slip out of the ring. And hopefully he's going to head his way to the back now so that we can restore some order and get this. Oh no, shit, don't do it!
The exact opposite from the rope. Cross body against all the security.
I try and issue him a fine, but I don't even think he's got a bank account. Don't laugh.
Look, I don't know when the bank accounts came into place, whether it was in the Jurassic era, the Triassic era, the Cretaceous period even.
Five-year-old shame. Anyway, but right again, both men now are just getting back into it. Jake with a spin.
Oh my God!
David, Jesus! And Syd just hit him with green mist, and David. Oh God, no!
Showing signs of a Dilophosaurus. Sorry, that's that field net dude.
This is not the time to show off your dinosaur knowledge.
It's the best time. Well, actually, it's not the best time at all. Poor David.
My backstage producer is getting assaulted by Syd bloody Parker! Oh God, no! Right on the top of his cranium, and he's having his eyes burnt out by this man's salivating acid. Oh God. Wow. Part of me wishes I never booked this contest. Part of me is thinking how I can make money from it. But right now, we just need to get this all under control so that we can obviously move on with this show. And Syd Parker is definitely controlling the ring right now. Nobody's going to get in between him and anyone else for that matter. The primordial rage and fury of the Jurassic Punk is alive here in AUS Pro Wrestling.
I know it's an easy thing to say, but wow. This was the first time ever Syd Parker, Jake Taylor across from one another, but I have a feeling it will not be the last.
This next match is a tag team match scheduled for
obviously coming out first, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a tag team contest. Ryan Rapid and Bush Kelly taking on the team of Gore and Breakfast. And obviously this all goes back to our very first show, Kickstart the Heart, when the family-friendly Gore was introduced. And after viciously assaulting Bush Kelly, went on to take on Ryan Rapid in our main event. And thanks to the sort of timely intervention from Bush Kelly, Ryan Rapid was able to get the victory. And that loss to Ryan Rapid has driven Gore absolutely insane with rage, anger, and jealousy. And somehow we now find ourselves here in a tag team contest. These two men are going to take on Gore, and Gore has the most unlikeliest of tag team partners who we met on our last show. Yeah, Ryan, when I was handed the contract for this and I saw it was Gore and Breakfast, I was somewhat surprised. And I then found out that one of the reasons why Ben, as in Ben and Breakfast, isn't here tonight, Ben's gone missing.
Oh my God, really?
Well, all I know, we don't know what happened. He went, okay, so according to Breakfast, he went to go get milk and he hasn't been back for about 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
The thing is that I saw Breakfast outside the venue handing out flyers. This is serious. Try and control yourself.
I'm sorry, that is one of the the greatest and horrific things I've ever seen.
I'm trying to talk to you seriously about how Ben is missing. And look, as you can see, poor Breakfast is know what to do still, handing out leaflets, just looking for his friend, his former tag team partner, Ben. And I guess, thankfully, Gore was here to step in.
I guess.
Gore's taken a real shine to Breakfast. I think Breakfast has somehow touched the inner nuggets that are deep within the very small black heart that is Gore.
I'd say Gore is a multifaceted individual. He's got these whole other sides, which we've been very lucky to see here at AUS Pro Wrestling. And he has this desire and this fight. Let's hope that we can take advantage of that passion, of that focus, and bring Ben home.
I mean, I hope we can, and look, I am glad that Gore's here, but I'm also concerned that Gore is sucking Breakfast into something. This path of revenge that Gore is on, and you can see that the real Gore is sort of slipping out a little bit.
I was going to say, like, that's a very, very, very good point. My immediate presumption was that, you know, there's that good side of Gore that we have seen, that family-friendly side that he would endeavor to help another person.
Well, look, it's time for the gimmicks. We're throwing out some Pop-Tarts, and we're throwing out some orange juice for the crowd, and I think Gore's actually thrown out fish stock. He's throwing out fish stock. What are you doing? Kids can't drink that.
Look, he's trying, he's learning, he's getting there.
He's getting there. I mean, at least it's not alcohol.
That's true.
Unless ladies and gentlemen, I have the best damn tag teams in Australian wrestling today, and they're all here in AUS Pro Wrestling. Gore and Breakfast, you won't see them anywhere else, that's for sure. So yeah, there's a lot going on in this contest. Let's say that. Okay. And now Gore's blaming Ryan Rapid for kidnapping Ben?
I'm no representative of the legal system. However, throwing around accusations like that could be dangerous. But of course, if you have seen their best friend Ben, be sure to hit us up on social media using the hashtag AUS Generation. That's Oz Generations. Please let us know if you've seen Ben.
But again, let's also remember that this is all due to Gore's annoyance and jealousy that on our very first show, he lost to Ryan Rapid in the main event via a pinfall. And technically, he also lost to Bush Kelly by a DQ as well. I mean, he had 2 losses in one night, and that was a lot for Gore's sensibilities to sort of contain.
And the many times that I have seen Gore, that I've seen him wrestle across this state, very rarely does that end in a loss. He is common to overpower, to outstrength anyone. However, 2 losses in the one night.
Oh, there you see. Well, Breakfast there is trying to shake his opponent's hand, and Gore's having nothing of it. On the run up to this contest, Breakfast has said, I don't have an issue with these guys. They're my friends. We trained at the same place. We competed at the same places. And Gore's like, no, you're my friend now. We're going to F them up.
It's all or nothing.
Yeah. I might have sounded too much like a Yorkshire farmer. Anyway, Gore's going to take a step out, which is very mature, and Breakfast is going to start up for his team against multi-time national champion Ryan Rapid.
Bell is rung, we are underway.
All right, elbow tie up now. Both men jockeying for position, and Breakfast getting an arm wringer there. The wrist lock applied onto Ryan Rapid. Rapid, very skilled competitor. Recently, he's been really stepping up in the world outside of AUS Pro Wrestling. He's starting to get opportunities to get some of the top competitors here in Australia against the likes of Adam Brooks, for example, and he's really been showing that he really does belong at the upper echelon of Australian wrestling. Breakfast, meanwhile, he's getting... Anyway, walks over the sleeper, I might add. There's the leapfrog off the ropes again, and whoa, look at that, cinnamon roll!
Bit loose on his feet, gets together though. Oh! Sends Rapid flying. I can assure you that Ryan Rapid did not see that coming. Look at that shock and awe on his face. He's genuinely impressed.
Okay, tag. I think Ryan Rapid and Bush Kelly, you know, they're still trying to get the level here with Breakfast. Like, is he really with Gore? Is he really our friend? And oh wait, hang on a minute.
Tag, here comes Gore.
Here come the 2 big lads. I hope you wanted meat for breakfast.
I was going to say, it is meat on meat.
Bush did this. All right, Bush took on Gore in our first show, and it didn't end very well for him. So Ryan Rapid's getting tagged in, and now Gore is definitely in control. Finally getting his hands on Ryan Rapid.
With that blow to the back of the head, whips him across the corner.
This is what
gets a hand at Breakfast.
Oh, that's what friends are for, using them as weapons.
Double splash into the corner for Rapid. Sends him through to Breakfast.
Oh! I was going to call that a black hole slam, but I honestly feel like I just couldn't think of a good enough name to suit Breakfast. Black hole just doesn't sound right.
Big tag to Bush Kelly. That reluctance earlier coming back to haunt him as he has to once again step across the ring from Gore.
Slap him in the chest, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for some mooch. Here we go, the 2 big boys of their respective teams about to level off. So a little bit of shot and tickle, ducks the clothesline, got the waist up, and takes Gore down. Look at that, technical wrestling at its finest. Yes, drops the elbow right into the heart, if he's got one, of Gore. Big body slam, big body slam, big body slam! Like when Hogan took down Andre.
Tag, in comes Breakfast once again. Gore, not sure where he feels it's in a moment to measure, I guess.
And here comes yet the 3rd meatiest member of this match. And oh, look at that, just forcing with the shoulder block. And I think, do you know, I wonder if Gore is just bringing out that little bit more aggressive out of Breakfast. He's certainly bringing something, like saying that Breakfast is like, gotta go.
Releasing strength by dropping these straps.
That is true. All the power, the strength is unlocked at the removal of the straps.
Nothing good happens when the straps go down. Oh, Gore's trying to remind him that we're here for a serious business, and that's bloody revenge against Ryan Rapid, who may have allegedly have kidnapped Ben, but has definitely upset Gore by beating him in our first show.
Gore using Breakfast as a weapon, drops him onto Bush Kelly.
And Bush is definitely feeling it right now. Gore just smashing Ryan Rapid's face in. Oh, kick out at 1.
Breakfast looking Daisy Furious. I really don't want it. I don't think he really wants to sort of take that extra step, that be a bit more vicious, that aggressiveness that you mentioned earlier.
Well, the thing is that he's a pro wrestler. He signed up for this. I mean, what's he going to do? How's he going to win? Oh, I don't want to hurt him.
It's one of those things, though. You can sign up for one thing, but did you sign up for exactly this? You mentioned a moment ago, with almost a personal vendetta against both these gentlemen. This is not simply a contest for him.
No,
this has emotional
not.
investment.
There's a lot of personal animosity. Professional, of course, between the family-friendly Gore and, of course, Bush Kelly and Ryan Rapid. And you can see it right there, just dropping the knee and the sort of the bone that runs down the front of the leg. The shin, thank you. It's late for me, you know.
It is quite late. Look, I said it's a night show here in Ringwood. We're used to doing this in the day.
I was going to say, the werewolves are howling at the moment. There's the tag there, Gore. The monstrous instrument of destruction coming back into the ring now. Look at that with an arm wringer. And like, oh, look at this. He's just having fun now, just teasing Ryan Rapid and just trying to break the bones of Bush Kelly. Look at that, just drives him down with the suplex.
Turns around, goes for the cover. Kick out at 2. If you weren't sure, there's the sign in the back. 2.
Oh! And a stomp there, right onto the fingers. Fingers have been taking a lot of punishment here tonight.
A lot of damage to the digits. Big punch to the side of the head using the ring apron.
I mean, the official needs to get in this, and even Breakfast is trying to convince him not to hurt him, but no! It's like the evolution of stop hitting yourself. It's like hitting your friend.
Breakfast reluctantly involved in that altercation. Bush Kelly attempting to reach, sorry, my apologies, Ryan Rapid attempting to reach Bush, attempting to reach Bush Kelly. Man, doing this at night with the full man, this is taking it out of me.
Breakfast now, tagging in, and it's almost like he's reluctantly coming in. I mean, let's remember, for Breakfast, all right, he's trying to instruct him to choke him out now. It's like the opposite of the Heimlich maneuvers, the opposite of what you do at Breakfast. Now you see Breakfast just choking away his opponent, and Bush Kelly trying to reach his corner. Ryan Rapid desperately reaching for the tag.
Inch by inch, Bush Kelly's able to bring Breakfast over and tag. He's back in the game.
He is, but look, the official was blind to the tag, and he's forcing Ryan Rapid back into his corner.
Even Breakfast coming in, attempting to ensure that the law is in place. Gore taking advantage of it, strangling the life out of Bush Kelly in the back.
I think everyone's confused. Breakfast tried to convince the official. No, he did tag in, ref. But no, the ref is standing by his decision there. Like Donald Trump is never wrong. Breakfast.
Once again, reluctantly clubbing blows to the back of Kelly. Yeah, stomps the boot into the side.
I was going to say, I mean, Breakfast is actually trained with this man. Breakfast, Ryan Rapid, Bush Kelly. I mean, Breakfast probably came into the PCW Training Wrestling School Academy looking up to Bush Kelly, looking up to Ryan Rapid. And now he's here, teaming up with one of the most monstrous individuals in Australian wrestling in a mission of vengeance, in the hopes that somehow he'll find his best friend Ben. Seriously, this is deeper than the plot line of 24.
Tag, in comes Gore.
Gore now stepping into the ring and just, there's no apprehension there. He's just punting him as hard as he can.
And we saw that sort of the questioning one's behaviour coming from Breakfast a moment ago. Essentially looking over to Gore about, look, do you want to just come in there? I don't think I can keep up with this. As Kelly gets dragged across the ropes.
Kelly launched hard into the corner. And Gore now is trying to instruct his new best friend Breakfast on how to go down the way of the warrior, how to be such destructive as him, but unfortunately the back elbow to Breakfast. Gore's going to have another shot at it, but poor Breakfast just boots it into the side of the head. Over the top, Bush Kelly through the legs and, wait. Oh.
Fingertips away. Gore grabs the ankle, stopping Kelly for the tag.
Bush Kelly there with the drop kick to get out. There's the tag to Ryan Rapid, and here comes the multi-time national champion Linesalt off the second rope, and sorry about that breakfast knee right into the face. Looks the clothesline, and look at that, trouble in paradise, and a big rushing forearm there from Bush Kelly. The cover, 2, 4.
You got it 2 from Gore.
I mean, Breakfast saving the match for his team. But I don't think he meant to, and Ryan Rapid now is starting to question. He's starting to question Breakfast's sort of like moral compass.
Oh, Rapid pushes Breakfast into our
the low blow of doom! We've seen Gore do that to his opponents multiple times here in Oz Pro, including to Ryan Rapid. And surely it is just a matter of time now till Gore can get the victory.
Gore holding Rapid by the jaw, forcing Breakfast.
You can hear Gore shouting, he stole Ben, he kidnapped Ben is what he's screaming. And Breakfast, he just can't do it, he can't turn to the dark side.
You're weak, he says.
It's Gore now, going for that big match-ending move on Ryan Rapid. Rapid trying to roll out, and there's the cover. Wait, 1, 2. Oh my God! Ryan Rapid just pinned him twice here in Oz Pro. The wheels have definitely fallen off this breakfast cart.
The pain you must be feeling if you are Breakfast. You have lost your friend. You're unable to find Ben. You are forced into positions like this.
This is it. This is the moment where Breakfast was being asked to cross that line, and unfortunately that indecision resulted in Gore getting pinned by Ryan Rapid again here in Oz Pro Wrestling, and that is not going to soothe the beast. That is Gore. Oh no. We have seen Gore turn on a dime and destroy his opponents, and now Breakfast finds himself with his new best friend Gore. Oh God, no. Gore might be getting ready to load up. Oh, come on, not Breakfast. Come on, Gore, take a step back. Breathe in deep, mate.
Solid restraint. Well done, Gore. You made the right decision.
Maybe he truly is family friendly. My investment might not have been to waste. But the question lies, is Gore going to let go of this mission of vengeance against Ryan Rapid? And is Breakfast ever going to find Ben? All this and more. Maybe Gore truly has a best friend in Breakfast. There you are. Anyway, coming on next, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to see a first-time contest when JJ Furno takes on Emmanuel.
This next match is a singles match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the ring now is Emmanuel, who, after over 5 years, finally made his return to an Australian wrestling ring at our very first show. And of course, he now finds himself in his second match back here tonight.
What a return it was. 5 years. It felt like it was 5 minutes.
I was going to say, he came back against a game Rory Holmes and was able to get the victory on that night, courtesy of the Super E-Man punch, nailing him square in the jaw and knocking him out. But another man who's currently feeling tremendous momentum at the moment is Emmanuel's opponent here tonight, JJ Furno, a man who spent the best part of 18 months on the shelf after a debilitating leg injury, and after all of that physiotherapy and all of that questioning himself, he made his return here in Victoria in an Oz Pro Wrestling ring and got a huge victory over Nate Hunter. So this is it. You've got two men who have so much to prove. All this momentum, one making a career resurgence, one trying to catch up for lost time. But here's the sad reality. Only one man can win tonight.
Now, I've been very lucky. JJ Fern, I've never seen him a couple different times, whether since his return here at AUS Pro Wrestling. And what an absolute talent. This man looks to be the future of this industry.
Well, obviously it's worth noting that before he came to this show, he had just completed a tour over in Japan with the DDT promotion. This man is truly investing himself, and when he takes his jacket off, you'll also see the physical sort of like improvements that he has made, signing up with Slex's sort of bodybuilding regime. This man is investing in himself, he's investing in his future, and it almost paid off this past week when over in PCW there was a Royal Rumble to crown a new national champion, and JJ Furno was second place.
And of course that national championship on the line later tonight.
Indeed, the winner of that battle royal was of course Tommy Hellfire, and after winning it, he offered AUS Pro Wrestling to put it on the line tonight against Owen Steadman in our main event, because he wants Owen Steadman to fall at a final hurdle with the greatest prize on the line. That is the psychological warfare that man is playing tonight. But right now, let's not focus on that. Let's focus on these two incredible athletes, two men who rebuilt themselves from the ground up. And we're going to see these two titans clash in the middle of the ring.
Thank you very much.
I am so proud of both men, but I have to admit I am a little biased. I have been friends with Emmanuel, fighting Syd Parker for over 10 years now, and I was heartbroken when Emmanuel left, and the reason he left is because he felt that he was becoming a monster, frankly. He hated the person he was becoming, and he had to step away just for his own psychological well-being. And we spoke, we talked, and I knew he wanted to return because he wanted to make his legacy right. And he wanted to do it in a promotion where he felt he was supported, and I'm going to support him. He is my friend. But at the end of the day, once he steps into those the four corners of that ring, it's up to him to get the wins.
And things are kicking off immediately. These two jets throwing each other around the ring. Furno with the first moment of upper hand though.
Look at these men. They're not going through the motions. They are fighting for every grapple. They are fighting for every takedown. And Emmanuel is saying 1 point to the former Prince, Emmanuel.
Sign of sportsmanship, bit of respect from one another. Yeah, on a complete side note, by the way, this is unrelated to anything. So can I just compliment JJ Furno's immaculate effort?
I've always been a big fan of his tights. I've always felt they were some of the prettiest tights I've ever seen in the ring. I mean, you would like it. It's a mullet. It's a very Australian thing. I'm English, short back and sides. Thank you very much.
Look, the mullets have came back numerous years ago, and sadly, not everyone can pull them off. And however, JJ Furno, undoubtedly one of the best mullets in Australian wrestling.
So I just want to talk about the seriousness of what you just said.
Yeah, second point to Emmanuel.
Emmanuel took him down 2 points. And that time, JJ Furno was not interested in being helped up to his feet. He is sick and tired of being condescended to. That is if it is condescension. Because like I said, Emmanuel wants to improve his legacy because he doesn't want to be that person who he grew to hate. And he's trying to improve himself, but deep down, he's got that vicious streak in him. I know him a bit too well. Oh, there you go.
Hey.
Down. Yeah, 1 point.
I was going to say, the speed of that technical wrestling prowess.
They're both lovely men, but it's going to get testy in a minute.
Hey, look, this is a sports contest.
I mean, I know from the ticket sales that few of Emmanuel's family are here. I also know there's going to be a lot of support for JJ Furno because his fan base from PCW are about 20 minutes away. So they would have come down tonight to cheer them on. So one way or another, I reckon we're going to end up with a split crowd at some point. Well, it wasn't quite a kick to the midsection, but JJ Furner decided to pull the trigger there, and Emmanuel is not impressed.
With that shoulder tackle, drops him to the mat. Didn't count it as a point this time. I think we're past points. Instead, we are now solely in the middle of this fight.
This is it. Both men showing their agility, their technique, Emmanuel's trying to deadlift him into a side suplex, but JJ Furno able to find a way out of it. Look at this, deep arm drags, and Emmanuel
catches that second arm drag.
Brings him up. Some great technique between these two guys. Drop the clothesline. Oh no! Wasn't able to get the arm drag that time. Might have hurt his arm, and JJ Furno forces Emmanuel down to the ground. It's definitely worth mentioning, at our last contest, Nate Hunter, who took on JJ Furno, did quite a bit of damage to that knee. But I'll tell you one thing, JJ Furno, when it comes to knee injury, part of that is psychological. But right now, JJ Furno doesn't look like he's slowing down. It does not look like it has impacted him whatsoever. And that's a lot of credit to this alpha competitor here in the AUS Pro ring. Oh, goes for the cover, kick out at one. Emmanuel saying, I'm not quite ready yet. Oh, I thought he was going for a DDT, but Emmanuel caught him in a cover. That was gorgeous. Ducks the clothesline, goes for another cover. JJ Furno. Both men trying to get those pinfalls. It only takes 3 seconds, as we saw in our previous contest.
Backslide, it was a backslide pin attempt from Emmanuel. JJ Furno with a shock and awe, ducks it, rolls up his own.
1, 2, Furno wasn't able to get it that time. And Emmanuel with the arm wringer snapping down on the arm. Landing just straddle cradle. Beautifully done. For the standing position, no less. A kick out at 2. Furno kick to the midsection.
What a technically proficient
he might be going for the pedigree, the double under facebuster, but no, Emmanuel. Going for a cutter. Gets pushed off by Furno, and both men back to the drawing board. They both try to hit themselves with their big moves.
He was this close.
Yeah, but what Emmanuel's confident. This close, but so was John. Absolutely. He was also that close as well. Look at this, it's like looking in a mirror. This could really go either way, and I booked this match thinking no one else is going to book this contest, but my God, this could be a good one.
Look, I have a feeling after this match, everyone will want to see these two square off again, whether it be here at AUS Pro, whether it be at some of the other places. As you mentioned, PCW, and just 20 minutes up the road, the home, JJ Furno.
Yeah, indeed, and now Emmanuel, big strike to the jaw there. And Emmanuel with another strike, and it's interesting to see that Emmanuel was the first one to bubble over, and he started doing those strikes now. Before it was more catch as catch can, but now, Emmanuel is ready to shift this contest into the next gear.
Possibly little shades of that past, that the past he tried to get away, the former self,
the Prince,
through just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. And we saw that with his match against Rory Holmes. But he also caught himself as well. He pulled it back in. And it's if he can ride that line, then it will help him tremendously in his career. Because you can't be too nice. You saw what happened with Breakfast in the last contest. But if you show that aggression, you show that drive, that focus, that, not quite sadism, it's a bit too strong a term, but that ability to enjoy the moment when the chips are down, you can go incredibly far in wrestling. But for Emmanuel, it's also a battle not to go too far. But right now, he's riding it well. However, look at that.
Smart move by Emmanuel, ducks under the ropes, comes back out.
I saw him do that to Rory Holmes at our first show.
Blast the forehead of Furno into the apron.
That's interesting.
And for a second time.
And Emmanuel, the former rogue that he is, he knows how to use every inch of that outside area. The steel post, the sort of steel ring guard, talking about the edge of the ring. But at the same time, he wants to do this right, and he's thrown JJ Furno back into the ring. And he might be measuring him up, going for a cutter again, and JJ Furno!
Furno catches himself, follows up with a big kick down the spine of Emmanuel. You can see that pain as that blast reverberates up his spine, goes for the cover.
2.
Kick out at 2.
One thing we should take into effect is that obviously, as I said, it's almost like watching in a mirror. This match can go either way. But it is worth noting Emmanuel carrying a bit more weight, and he is older than JJ Furno. Obviously, our contest, they do have a 30-minute time limit. And we've never been close to that 30 minutes here in AUS Pro yet. But you've got to ask yourself, the longer this contest goes, does it favour JJ Furno? Are we seeing an Emmanuel that might be starting to slow down a little bit before JJ?
Look, you mentioned that he has like a bit of the weight, quote unquote. However, both these men are, absolutely cut. They are looking fantastic. We can only hope their cardio is of equivalent, so he's not going to have like that drop out, that sort of phase out. But once again, 5 years away is a long time. And it has only been one match since.
Of course, Emmanuel's been training quite diligently at the Vicious Pursuit training school, so it's not like he isn't ring ready to a certain degree, but it's different than in competition. Anyway, gets him in the corner now, and there are those strikes. It's almost like Emmanuel storing up that energy, lost his temper, threw JJ Furno into the corner, and the official now stepping in there, trying to push Emmanuel back so that this contest can continue.
Flurry of kicks from Furno, goes for the stomp.
But clipped him in the back of the head right there. It wasn't a full stomp, but it certainly was effective. Looks at outside leg, 2, and Emmanuel with the kick out. And he kicks out just after the 2 point. Those kick outs are getting later.
Smart maneuver from Furno though, where that the lobe in the back of your brain, that's what controls your vision. You clip that hard enough, Emmanuel seeing stars.
Yeah, another thing that just occurred to me is that for JJ Furno, there's so much access to tapes usually, and he's probably not seen all that many contests of Emmanuel. He's only had 1 match before this, and before that, 5 years previous. He's a very different beast.
Back then it was a whole different scene in the wrestling space. Not very few matches you would find on YouTube. So many little tapes and things that were handed around, and I'm not quite sure what would even be available. However, Emmanuel with the upper hand though, Furno, as you mentioned, all across PCW, that tournament only just recently, gets him to the middle rope.
Oh, he's going for a top rope superplex. Beautifully done from the second turnbuckle, and both men are down hard.
Ref coming in and check. I'm not quite sure who's going to come out better or even worse.
Well, the official is, of course, checking on both competitors. Let's watch the replay. Oh, spine shivering. Absolute spine shivering.
Both these men just gasping in air.
Well, this is it. You take a suplex from the top, and it's going to be worse for the guy receiving it. But both men have hit the mat hard. You're going to be winded. You're trying to catch your air again. And both men now trying to get back to their feet.
Emmanuel first to one knee. Grabbing that luscious mullet of Furno, gets him to his feet.
Big strike to the side of the head. And another from Furno.
Using the rope for support. Ooh, big wind up from Emmanuel.
Yeah, this is now boiling down into a game of who's got the bigger machismo. Big strikes left and right from both men.
I've lost count. I was trying to count. Where are we at?
Can you count higher than 10? Sorry, that was
not commonly.
Anyway, he's got the reverse chin lock. The official nearly got sandwiched there, but thankfully able to get out of there at the last moment.
There's that Furno taking advantage, pushing Emmanuel into the corner for a second time, able to break the hold.
Well, Emmanuel is determined to have this choke, but JJ Furno, classic reversal right there, trying to do a front bridge into it, wasn't able to get it, and Furno now just takes him down, and it's Furno picking up the steam, the younger competitor of the two, speeding up the contest to his advantage, and look at that, spiral crossbody, 2!
Kick out at 2, Furno's unable to bring it home.
You can hear JJ Furno desperately trying to draw that breath into him, trying to rethink what he's got to do, and he's going for it.
There's that attempted pedigree again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Face buster.
Oh, E-Man pushes himself away, but a kick to the knee makes him think otherwise. And He got caught that time.
Ringwood cutter, not a huge impact,
Is it
but enough.
Pedigree! Oh wait, I think he might have dropped a bit funny onto his knee there, but
That's ring awareness, that long tenured skill of Emmanuel coming through, able to get his foot on the bottom rope. I think if anything, his foot had maybe been under that rope. He was that prepared.
But I do want to know, JJ Furno dropped to his knees and instinctively grabbed the injured knee.
Oh.
Was that the sort of the psychiatry sort of component of it hitting him? Was he scared? Did he have that moment of worry that maybe he had hurt himself again? But he physically seems absolutely fine. But that momentary distraction might have allowed Emmanuel to get his foot to that bottom rope. Anyway, JJ Furno now. I mean, the knee's looking good.
So we think about the psychological impact of an injury like that takes you out. However, he's not standing very gingerly.
Oh! Lands on his feet, yeah, the knee's definitely holding up. He missed that 450, and now it's E-Man just with the strikes like a boxer, just getting within close quarters and just pummeling away.
Even shades of MMA with that knee to the midsection.
Oh, he went for the Super E-Man punch, wasn't able to get it, and the spear! Slingshot spear!
Incredible work.
Pedigree time!
Furno's second pedigree attempt.
He's got it! Oh wait, I thought it was game over, but no! Trying to go for a clutter, wasn't able to get it, misses the Super E-Man punch off that rope, but he got it this time! Did the knee buckle? 2, 3! I'm gonna need to watch that back, because when he went onto that second rope, I'm not sure if he was sure he had a good footing or not. And if that's what happened, I'm not sure, I wasn't in the ring, but if that's what happened, that might have been what allowed Emmanuel to get it. Let's watch it
let's
again.
have a look.
Watch it.
Oh yes, he's a little hesitant, a little reluctant.
There was something there. Hooks that outside leg. Oh, that could have gone either way. I'm going to have a chat with JJ Furno about that. I'm not sure what actually happened there, whether he got something into his head. But ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, it's irrelevant. Two gladiators stormed into this match, and it is Emmanuel who came out victorious here tonight. What a match!
And continues what could become an undefeated streak here at AUS Pro Wrestling. That's 2 for 2.
Let's see if he can continue it, because I tell you one thing, there could very well be goals in the future, and it could belong to either of these men, but momentum-wise, Emmanuel currently is just one step in front of JJ Furno.
It's been a great opportunity here at AUS Pro Wrestling so far. A number of first-time matches, including this one here. Now, I don't want to speak out of turn, Andy. Can we please have this happen again?
I will certainly consider it. Anyway, and on that note, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, 6-man tag team action.
This next match is a 6-person tag team match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first.
Well, time for some 6-man tag team action. And you can see the faces coming up on the screen. Introducing first the new team of The Pursuit. Led to the ring by Rory Holmes, who actually made his debut for us at our first show, Kickstart the Heart. And he's coming to the ring with Ricky DeBoom and Hector Jones, two of the men who have also competed earlier in AUS Pro Wrestling. Now, these three men, they all have two things in common. One, they have all earned their graft and learnt their trade at the Vicious Pursuit Training School. But the other thing they all have in common is they all lost their debuts here in AUS Pro Wrestling. And seemingly it is Rory Holmes who has spoken to these two men, and he said, you know what? We all made a misstep, and we have all been denied another chance. And they have all come together, and they said it on our social media when they said they are in the pursuit of gold, they are in the pursuit of domination, they are in the pursuit of everything. We got this! So these three men have a lot to prove to us, the fans, to themselves more importantly. And you've got to believe that their fellow trainees at the school, and as long as the head honcho, Carlo Cannon, will be watching this match with great interest.
Now, I was going to say, it's one of those things, it's one of those difficult things. I said this, I believe I said this last time. It is a joy to see Canby once again. However, this time he's bringing a whole team with him.
Oh, he is Fat Cat Canby. He's actually been one of our biggest investors here in AUS Pro Wrestling. Thanks to him, we were able to get the lighting rig here today. And in fact, he has invested into this match. He is our premium platinum sponsor. And I am so glad to give him and his lads this opportunity here tonight. And Fat Cat Canby, look, his heart is definitely in the right place. He wants to use his vast wealth to invest into the future of Australian wrestling. Two investments. One is Jackson Atlas, a man who's just started his career over in PCW. And another one is Jake Fury, who, from what I've been told, has about 20 of his drunkest mates in the audience here tonight. So, yeah, two very different teams making their debuts here tonight.
It's one of those you get booked for your
total shit.
You get booked for your talent, you come back for all the awesome friends you bring. Certainly a different energy.
I'll tell you one thing, if everyone brought 20 drunken mates, I'd be having 10-man tags the entire way. But yeah, big total difference here. We've got the bright colours, we've got the investment of Fat Cat Canby on one side, and on the other side we've got three grumpy men who are looking to make up for their past losses here in AUS Pro Wrestling. And first up, Ricky the Boom, representing his team, and he was the man who, in his debut match here in Australia, lost to Ant Cava via submission. So obviously this is a really good teaming for him, because he can get a support from other people. And you know, Fat Cat Canby, a smart and savvy competitor as he is rich, going up against a young buck with big muscles, and Ricky the Boom able to push him back into the corner.
Almost effortlessly sending him back to that corner. Square up moment, waist lock by Canby. The Boom just almost flips him away.
And it is worth mentioning, Canby Crawford, definitely the most experienced man in that ring, having competed for Renegade, MCW, GBW, a wide range of a huge amount of experience, and of course, DMDU, he got his deathmatch side.
I was going to say, in by far one of the most visual, impressive death matches I have seen. There's a photo I have on my phone that I use to show people what that side of the world can be. It is him being blasted through a on-fire glass pane.
You don't see that very often. What a veteran.
The absolute respect I have for Canby as a professional wrestler, and of course as our platinum sponsor for this match.
Sponsor, yes, thank you very much. He is covering the fees of everyone in this match here tonight. Oh, big back rake down the side, and atomic drop. Beautifully done.
Grabs him from the legs, sweeps him out underneath.
Canby there, swinging him up so he can then clothesline him back down.
Having some trouble with his pants.
Yeah, I didn't want to mention it, but yes, it's all right. It's an investment. These things take time, and look, you can throw a belt onto this. I was
going to say, nothing a good belt could fix. Against the rope to Boom. Swinging neck breaker once again, drops him to the mat.
Now, it is worth mentioning, Ricky the Boom, yes, he was unsuccessful in his first match, but he had a great showing for himself.
Tag, here comes Hector Jones.
Oh, probably one of the most aggressive men I have ever seen in a ring.
And Jackson Atlas on the other side gets tagged in as well.
Yeah, Jackson Atlas.
The speed of that sling blade.
I kid you not, I had more recommendations for him than any other wrestler when I was asking people for promising young talent. And I listened, and as did Fat Cat Canby as well. In fact, he is the current Slam champion over in PCW, sort of like their equivalent of the junior leagues for all intents and purposes.
Fantastic.
So yeah, so this guy has a very promising future ahead of him. And whoa!
Whoa!
Big boy! Big boy alert!
You're saying that until Rory Holmes gets in your face. Tag, in comes Pumping Paul Fury. Once again, a gentleman that I've been able to see recently in other various big meaty meat fight matches. Oh my God, what a dude. What an absolute dude.
The meat fight division. Well, that's an idea. Anyway.
That is a champ you can't get behind. Shoulder tackle attempt from Rory Holmes, unable to move Pumping Paul Fury.
Fury invites him again, wasn't able to get it this time, and Pumping Paul Fury standing his ground, and both men are going to go for it, and oh, look at that.
Fury's standing strong.
Rory Holmes isn't a little man. Do you know what I mean? He's not small, and Paul Fury is just dominating it.
Samoan drop from Fury.
Do you know what? I nearly called you.
That's an excitement of the match. There's a lot going on.
Anyway, I was going to say,
Tag,
one of the
here comes
reasons
Jackson.
I love Fury is because I saw clips of him in Mayhem, just suplexing people left, right, center. Gorgeous. Oh, look at that. Beautiful neck breaker, back suplex combo. Hooks at outside leg. The two. The kick out there from Rory Holmes.
See, with Pumping Paul Fury, I saw him take on Magnus Kolbeck, the 7-foot-tall giant of a man. What an absolute match between them. They gave it everything.
Yeah, I hired him once.
Giant spine buster.
I was going to say I hired him once to change the light bulb in the lighting rig. But anyway, hooks that outside leg. Huge spine buster. And Rory Holmes, that seething, cold frustration. You know, I was a big fan of Rory Holmes, and Rory Holmes made an implication on his social medias that he didn't get to appear on the second show because he lost to Emmanuel in his debut. And the truth of the matter is, yes, wins and losses do matter. That might have had an impact, but I was always going to have him back here in AUS Pro Wrestling. He's a tremendous athlete.
That jumping knee drops Atlas, goes for the pin, unsuccessful.
Former heavyweight champion from Perth as well, so it's not like this is a man who hasn't had great success in the past.
Tag, in comes Hector Jones.
But you know, sometimes your presumptions, that is the reality that you're facing. And he felt that he was undermined and disrespected by myself and by AUS Pro Wrestling. I assure you it's not a case. Beautiful leg drop. One of the best in the business.
Just following the elbow drop. Rob Ricky to boom, attempted pin, unsuccessful.
I was going to say there's great chemistry with both teams, but if I was going to give it an edge, I would say it is more with the pursuit right now.
I would agree with that. We're seeing that, this smooth sequence. Tag, in comes Hector Jones to continue the beating on Atlas.
See, this is it. All three men of the pursuit, you know, they train at the same facility. Meanwhile, the other team, you know, Canby Crawford, Fancat Canby, he has taken these two men from complete different ends of Victoria, quite literally. And so the opportunity for them to work on that chemistry probably isn't there.
But there is that one advantage of bringing a team from the various sides across Victoria. There is different talents, different schools, different ways of learning, different skill sets they're going to bring to the ring. Now, I'm not saying the pursuit are all the same. However, oh, hang on, ref distraction.
I'm going to say Rory Holmes distracting the official, allowing the other men to sort of choke away Atlas Jackson.
Tag, in comes Ricky the Boom. But as what I was alluding to there is, yes, they're all from the same space. Now that does mean, for better or worse, they are all trained similarly. They're experiencing similar ways, the ring, how they work with one another. It is certainly advantageous, but it can have disadvantages too. Blows to the midsection from Atlas. The Boom, big forearm, drops him down, goes to the cover, doesn't hook the leg though, allowing Atlas to kick out at 2.
Jackson is the smallest man in this contest, so it's very unfortunate to see that he is the one trapped in the corner of the pursuit. And the pursuit have most definitely drawn a line dead center in the ring, and they are keeping him on their side. And this is going to be very frustrating for Fat Cat Canby, and of course Paul Fury as well.
Incredible tag team experience and knowledge coming out of all three of these men. Able to step it away. Jackson, though, breaks it, rolls through.
He's clear! He's clear! And
misses it!
Oh,
Just
Rory Holmes! Rory Holmes just pulled Fury at the last minute.
You mentioned a moment ago that incredible tag team experience coming out of the pursuit. Oh!
And then you saw as well as Hector Jones is hitting the Snapdragon, goes for that cover now. 1, 2. I mean, they were also holding Fat Cat as well. He wasn't able to get to his corner to hold the tag rope to then get the tag either.
Yeah, Ricky DeBoom getting his hands on Canby. Giving him over to Hector to work on Atlas. Blow to the back.
You know, Hector Jones was so disappointed in himself after his first loss in his debut match. He thought he was going to come in and conquer our Rising Star division. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to defeat Bush Kelly in his debut. But maybe he can make up for it here tonight. Maybe all three members of the Pursuit can make up for it here tonight. You've got to believe that all three of these men have aspirations to be successful. Hell, every man in this contest probably have aspirations to be successful.
Absolutely, whether it be in singles competition, in tag competition. You mentioned it earlier, all three of these men, as part of Pursuit, have had matches here at AUS Pro before. Be sure to go check out those shows where they're available if anyone's curious.
You can find them on YouTube. Just look up AUS Pro Wrestling. All our shows, all our matches are available to watch for free. Why? Because we love you.
And the reason we're able to showcase these incredible shows, these experiences here at AUS Pro Wrestling for free, couldn't do it without incredible people like Fat Cat Canby, elite sponsor for this match here tonight.
I like to thank Fat Cat Canby for my new Ferrari.
Yeah.
It's only a Matchbox car, but it's still a nice car.
It's the sentiment nonetheless. It was very, very kind of him. Just shows the amount of care that he has here for AUS Pro Wrestling. Jackson Atlas.
Boom with the neck breaker.
Still unable to get across the ring for the tag. Folded in half. Ricky DeBoom goes for the pin.
I was going to say, Atlas Jackson, he's certainly earning his fee tonight. He has been stuck in that ring for quite a while now, literally just taking a beating from three guys, all bigger than him. There's a lot of heart being shown here by the young man. Sent
into the buckle. Now, as you mentioned, probably one of the younger gentlemen out of the crew, maybe the least experienced. You think this is an opportunity for Pursuit to exploit that?
Possibly.
Backbreaker from Ricky DeBoom.
I was going to say, Ricky DeBoom has been a real workhorse in this match so far. He has really impressed me. He seems even more focused than when I last saw him in his debut against Ant Cava. Throws him into the corner, and there's the tag, and here comes the heavyweight hitter, Rory Holmes.
Now we should note that kick out as well, almost an instinctual one.
Rory Holmes making sure, oh! Look at this, they have been practicing this three-man tandem offense.
However, we said he's the youngest, potentially the least experienced. However, that ring awareness gets his foot on the rope.
Look at Hector Jones, whereas Rory Holmes has that cold seethingness about him. Hector Jones is like a boiling kettle. You can just tell there's heat emanating from his head. He's just so mad. And the thing is with Hector Jones, he's a tremendous competitor.
Absolutely.
But sometimes he can lose his patience. He can get a little bit furious in that ring. And right now, Atlas Jackson might be playing to that to his advantage. Off the ropes and he just wiped him out with a crossbody. Wasn't able to capitalize on a pinfall, but maybe it'll allow him to get into the corner.
Here is that opportunity for Atlas to finally have a rest. Makes his way to the corner. Tag! In comes
the Fury! Boom!
Runs through one, runs through a second. Follows up with a
sidewalk slam special for Rory Holmes.
Spinning sidewalk slam. Pumping for Paul Fury, pumping up the crowd. Rory Holmes, Ricky DeBoom attempted double clothesline, instead gets dropped.
He is the biggest bad boy in that ring right now. He's the king of the castle.
The straps are down. It's serious as he catches Hector Jones midair.
Look at him. He's
just curling, bicep curls.
He's getting some reps in.
From the cutthroat Hector, Atlas tags himself back in.
Oh my God, I mean, Hector Jones' feet haven't even touched the floor, and he's got him up in a suplex. And look at this.
Vertical suplex, crossbody. Almost like crossbody, but it's more of the legs, dropping Hector to the dead center of the ring.
And Fat Cat tagged himself in just before that. Little bit of confusion there from Fury, but yes, Fat Cat did indeed tag himself in. The leader of the Canby collection. All right, a little bit of communication issues going on here. They need to get back into focus. That's what we're talking about with that experience. Oh, Ricky the Boom.
Taking advantage of the little bit of the miscommunication between the Canby collection. DDT.
Yeah, an implant DDT, and looks like that miscommunication might have cost him. And Rory Holmes now with a blind tag, and it looks like Rory Holmes fancies picking the carcass clean all for himself. Look at that big single leg drop kick. Goes for the cover, puts it up between the ropes, and yeah, he got it. 3 counts.
Little bit of redemption for the pursuit for Hector Jones, for Rory Holmes. Ricky Boone formerly unable to get their wins in their single matches. However, together as a collective force, the pursuit bringing home the victory.
I was going to say, but I think it all came down to this moment. That it looked like for the Canby collection, we're going to get this. And unfortunately, Canby tagged himself in, and I think there was confusion within their team. And this is what we're talking about with the chemistry, and it cost them. But look, let's be honest, it's an experiment from Fat Cat Canby, and it was an impressive start, even though they didn't get the victory. But tonight, it belongs to the pursuit, and this is the start that they were looking for, and they are riding high at the top of the mountain.
This next match is a singles match scheduled for one fall. Introducing
The only question I have for everyone right now is, hasn't Jen been doing such a wonderful job tonight? Excellent. Well, I actually have a gift for you.
Gift for Jen.
No, Jen, just a gift for you. And all that simply is a break. Because you've done such a spectacular job tonight, you can sashay to the corner while the artiste takes center stage.
This doesn't feel like such a gift.
Because Lockie is here to introduce the man who will send Sam Giannis the true definition of a wooden spoon, and that is the bottom of the ladder. So Maestro, if you please, hit my music.
It's a wrestling match, isn't it?
Sam Yenis better bring out something big to be able to match an introduction like that. Favorite parts.
Well, there we go. It's time to talk game. Anyway, so Kava made his debut at our last event, reaching the brass ring, surprising us all with his new and improved introduction, courtesy of the artiste Lucky. And not that he's French, but bear with me. And obviously, in that contest, he took on debuting Ricky De Boom, who we obviously saw in our last contest. Unfortunately for Mr. De Boom, Kava was able to get the submission courtesy of the Cavelock, and we would later find out if it was an AUS Pro Wrestling ring where that would be the last Cavelock ever in the entire duration of the history of Anfield. I know, you look very shocked there.
I am. My jaw is to the floor.
Yes, he's now.
The devastating move that is the Cavelock. What?
He's introduced a more devastating maneuver, the Caverack.
Oh, well, let's hope to see. Or if I am either Lockie or I am and Kava, I'd hope they would have the opportunity to bring that out tonight against Sam Yanis.
Well, I was going to say, let me have a moment to obviously speak how fantastic it is to have Sam Yanis here. And it's quite interesting because our very first match here in AUS Pro Wrestling featured his tag team partner, Levi Nixon. So it's great that we've got both of the Sexy Greek boys having competed here now in AUS Pro Wrestling. Though interestingly, both Yanis and Nixon have actually been pursuing their own singles careers as of late, competing all over. And in fact, they've even butted heads a few times in one-on-one competitions. But enough of the Sexy Greek boys. Let us focus on the contest. And you can see it right here. And Kava, the multi-time bodybuilding champion.
And you can see those muscles are not for glamour only. They are for effective use as he sends Yanis across the ring and drops him to the mat.
You know, when Kava first came into the scene here in Australian wrestling, you know, he brought a lot of power and he brought a lot of strength. And I think there was a part of him that felt that this is all I needed to be successful. But one thing you've noticed in the last few years is that he has been training diligently. He's been working on his agility, his technique. He's not, I mean, yes, he is obviously a gorgeous man, but at the end of the day, he's not just relying on that. He's actually shown himself to be a much more rounded competitor, which is why he's actually retired the Cavelock and brought in the Caverack because he felt that it more complemented his updated style. But Sam Yanis, he is a workhorse in that ring.
Sends Kava out to the ringside.
I mean, Yanis,
heads his arm takedown.
He is a very agile competitor. And he likes to have a little bit of fun in there as well.
I was going to say, looks like he was setting up to go for a dive to the outside. Instead, choosing to hang about in the ring. And now he's calling Ant Kava to get back in.
I was going to say, this is where the artist and Ant Kava are a great team together. Because the artist can keep Ant Kava focused on what he needs to do. But Yanis, he is a tricky competitor, running up and down and around. Oh, wait a minute!
There's those moments of that teamwork coming into effect as Lockie catches the foot of Sam Yanis, slowing down that momentum, giving Ant Kava the ability to drop that back elbow to pin.
Two, and a kick out there by Yanis.
Yeah, so look, it is an immediately unlikely pairing though. If you were to come to me and say, hey, I'm thinking Lockie, I'm thinking Ant Kava. However, it works so beautifully.
Oh, it absolutely does. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't deny the success that Ant Kava had on our last show when he actually defeated Ricky De Boom. And if he can get a victory over Yanis tonight, by hook or by crook, it will go a long way in the win-loss records.
Ant Kava putting Yanis through that middle rope. Ref not quite making the count. I think he was hoping to get Ant to stop at his own time. Suplex.
So here's the thing, Ant Kava, this is one of the improvements we've seen. He's slowing down the contest, he's taking his time. He is using his power and his strength to his advantage. He's combining it with that improved technique that we have seen him bring into the ring. Driving those shots into next time. Sorry, Ryan.
That's all right. All I'm going to say is just that strength is certainly advantageous going against the speed of someone like Sam Yanis, someone that is known to get up on those turnbuckles, to get a little bit airborne. You can keep him down if you can slow the pace. See it there, attempted cross body from Yanis, caught by Kava.
Indeed, Yanis just caught off that second rope. And Ant Kava fall away slam. almost across half of the ring, hooks that inside leg, 2 and a kick out there. Yanis able to stay alive in the contest. Kava going for another, and Kava's getting frustrated, and so is the artiste.
I was going to say, normally in these moments, you would hope the artist or the person you have ringside would help bring that emotion down, keep it in control. But if it's spilling over for both, it can only lead to chaos. Yanis taking advantage, blows to the midsection.
But this is what Yanis needs. Maybe he wants, if Kava gets frustrated, then that means Yanis will have an opportunity to sort of get a win in this contest.
Absolutely. If you've got, or you can have all the strength in the world, but if you can't channel that, if you can't deliver it correctly, what are you going to do? Vertical suplex, just hanging, all the blood rushing to Yanis' head.
But Yanis with the reversal, that agility, but a kick out there by Kava. Kava kick to the midsection, going for a big clothesline. Yanis does hit the back elbow, wasn't able to get it. Huge clothesline there by Yanis. And the back elbow
to the jaw of Kava, sends him down, kicks the midsection. Tempted neck breaker.
Unfortunately wasn't getting it. And Kava able to push him off almost effortlessly with that raw power. And now Yanis off the second rope and crossbody.
This time successful, hooks the leg.
2. Kava able to kick out, and Kava rolling towards the ropes. That's a real ring general-like move.
Kava once again returning to the outside, getting some words of motivation.
Wait a minute.
From the artist. Interrupted.
This is what the artist does best. He runs interference. He helps to regain the advantage for his man, Kava. Oh no, Yanis has got his mama's wooden spoon.
The aforementioned wooden spoon wound up. Oh!
He's stirring more than a stew there. I don't think the artist was...
Oh, hang on, wait, Kava taking advantage opportunity. Attempted to roll up Yanis, unable to bring it. Boot, drops the arm. Is this the Kava rack ending?
This is the Kava rack! He's locked it in, but Yanis able to fight out. He's not tired enough, evidently, and cutter! Yanis able to hit the cutter.
Giant
What's that inside leg? Oh, wasn't able to get it.
We saw the beginnings of what is that new and improved Kava rack. However, Yanis able to sneak out just in time.
Well, Yanis is signaling for something. We've got the artist down at ringside, and Kava is prone in the middle of the ring. This could be the moment if he look out. Wait a minute, the artist once again grabbing the ankle of Yanis, preventing him from ending this contest. And a punch right square in the middle of the spine, and here it is, the Kava rack!
The rack, he's holding him deep, he's crunching him.
Oh, he's tearing him apart, and there's the tap out from Yanis. He had absolutely no choice, and Kava's not letting go. He's already won, damn it.
We mentioned it earlier, the end, the time has come for the Kava lock. It is now the era of the Kava rack, and it has secured the victory here tonight.
I felt very sorry for Yanis, but I also felt a bit sorry for the artist right here, who got the spoon right up his arse crack. The Kava rack, devastating, just almost parting the spine apart, and Yanis having no choice but to tap. And the domination of Kava and the music of the artist will continue here in AUS Pro Wrestling. And now, Ryan, coming up next, it is time for our main event.
It is for the PCW National Championship.
Oh, indeed it is. And Tommy Hellfire will...
I was too excited, Eddie.
I know you are. No, I'm excited as well. Tommy Hellfire will defend against the underdog, Owen Steadman. Will we see a miracle here tonight? One of the reasons I booked Tommy Hellfire for AUS Pro was because, frankly, I wanted another seasoned veteran in the back. Tommy has always had my back, and I hoped that his presence would be good for the younger talent in the locker room. I wanted him to come out, guest ring announce an exciting young team in Ben and Breakfast, give a good old rah-rah speech about the future of Australian wrestling. However, I did not expect Tommy to do what he did at my first show.
Let me address a few things at AUS Pro Wrestling. Number one, that would be bed and breakfast. Now boys, I don't hate you, I hate what you represent. You're lazy, you're entitled, and you don't take nothing serious. And that brings me to Owen Steadman. Owen Steadman, you might have been their knight in shining armor. Owen Steadman, you might be AUS Pro Wrestling's next big star, but to me, you're a vagabond. To me, you ain't there yet, kid. And on May 31, I'll remind you, Daddy's home.
Tommy, we looked up to you. We were excited to be sharing a locker room with an Australian wrestling legend. What you did to Ben and Breakfast out there was pathetic. I didn't come out to make a statement or to take your spot. All I was doing was defending my friends. But when I went out there, I wasn't defending them from an Australian wrestling legend. No, I was defending them from a has-been grey-beard tyrant. I know this is the biggest match of my career, the PCW National Championship on the line. I know I'm going into this the underdog, but I also know that I do my best work when my back is against the wall. Reaching the brass ring, I absolutely, undisputedly had you, Tommy, and you know it. You know it damn well. But on May the 31st at AUS Pro Generations, I'm gonna have you again. I'm gonna be taking home that national gold. For Gippsland.
Your AUS Pro Wrestling Generations main event is a singles match scheduled for one fall. And it is for the PCW National Championship. Please welcome the challenger.
Obviously at this time I'd like to say a massive thank you to PCW for allowing their very prestigious national championship to be defended here tonight. It is Australia's longest running, currently active championship. So to say that this is prestigious would be a massive understatement. And the reason that this match came about, the reason the title is to be on the line, is because Tommy Hellfire, who recently won the title, willingly put it on the line because he wanted to use it as a means to get into Owen Steadman's head. But here comes Owen Steadman, probably one of the leaders of the new young generation coming through, and he's coming to the ring with multi-time Australian champion Andy Rhodes, his trainer, mentor, and friend, who wanted to be here tonight. So yes, AUS Pro has granted him a managerial license for one night only so that he could be here for what could possibly be the biggest moment in Owen Steadman's very young career.
An incredible opportunity for him to have a shot at the PCW National Championship here at AUS Pro. And as you mentioned, it is an absolute honour from us to have that title defended here. And once again, to speak for myself, it is an honour to have someone like Owen Steadman representing my neck of the woods, my hometown in Gippsland, in Traralgon. It would be my pleasure to sit here alongside yourself and call him the future national champion.
By the way, it is worth mentioning that Owen Steadman does not have a PCW contract. If he wins the championship here tonight, if he wins it tonight, next week he walks into PCW Ignition as champion and will be awarded a contract as a result and will replace Tommy Hellfire in his future match against Relive. But we are getting ahead of ourselves right now because coming to the ring second is the champion, as per tradition, Tommy Hellfire. And you heard the music package at the beginning as to why I brought Tommy into AUS Pro Wrestling. I wanted his experience, I wanted his presence backstage. But sometimes the leopard doesn't change its spots. And Tommy Hellfire is always looking for the opportunity for himself. And so when I asked him to ring announce a bed and breakfast match, he took it as an opportunity to basically backhand the new young generation that was coming into Australian wrestling. Basically, as far as he's concerned, they don't have the heart, they don't have the drive, they don't have the grit that people like Tommy Hellfire in his generation had. And as a result, it brought out Owen Steadman, who came out to defend his friend, but now it's come to this, one-on-one, a symbolic match of generations, and right there, the PCW National Championship, and the man who holds that at the end of this evening could very well be the leader of Australian wrestling, at least in this region of Victoria.
Let's head to the ring for Gemstone with the official start time.
This match is for the PCW National Championship. Introducing first the challenger to my left, being accompanied to the ring by a two-time Australian heavyweight champion, Andy Rhodes. From Gippsland, Victoria, weighing in at 79 kilograms, he is Owen Steadman.
I think it's safe to say that the fans here in Ringwood are thoroughly behind the Gippsland Dragon.
From Melbourne, Victoria, weighing in at 115 kilograms, he's a two-time PCW National Champion, the current PCW National Champion, Tommy Hellfire.
As mentioned, the longest running active title in Australia. Andy, how long has this title been in use?
Basically about over 20 years. And although that may not sound a huge amount, you've got to understand that here in Australia, promotions come, promotions go. Titles come, titles go. And frankly, that is the championship that has stood the test of time. Obviously, I think the only other title I can think that comes close to that would be the Warzone Championship, which is currently inactive. So as a result, you know, it is important. It is a significant piece of hardware to have around your waist. And for Owen Steadman, for his first championship victory, to be that title at the expense of Tommy Hellfire, that's a statement. That is a huge statement.
Tommy Hellfire, two-time PCW National Champion. I can't even begin to imagine the incredible names, the legacy, as you mentioned, the generations that exist within this title.
Oh, absolutely. Some of your favourites have held that. But tonight, what are your new favourites? The Gippsland Dragon.
Oh, my personal favourite.
Owen Steadman from Gippsland. Doing it for Gippsland. It's going to be interesting.
Very rarely do I ever get emotionally invested or show any allegiances to the place that I was born. However, as I sit here and I see this, what could be the future of the Victorian, of Australian professional wrestling, I can't help but feel hope and excitement.
So, both men are very similar but also very different. They're both kind of strikers. Owen Steadman, we've seen him with the kicks, we've seen him with the strikes. Tommy Hellfire, he is a brawler at heart. He is a slugger.
And with quite a substantial height advantage over the young upcomer.
Steadman asking for the hand. A very reasonable request for this huge apprehensive main event. The question is, will Tommy Hellfire actually show an ounce of respect to the challenger here tonight?
He was given the opportunity to act respectfully before, chose not to do so, essentially spitting in your face, Andy, the reason that you hired him, the reason you brought him into the team. And once again, continuing to demonstrate that disrespect.
I already knew that was going to happen. I know Tommy far too well. But yeah, it was disappointing. And, you know, the chips have landed as they were, and look, hey, there's a silver lining in every cloud. I've got a PCW National Championship on only my 3rd show here in Ringwood.
And be sure to let us know what you think of this show using that hashtag OzGenerations on your social media of choice. We'd love to know what you think of this incredible card or this main event as it gets underway.
Hellfire forcing Steadman into the corner. Now, it's worth noting, just a few moments ago, look at Steadman's face. I mean, yeah, he is strong, he is determined, but there's a slight concern in his face. This is the deepest he has ever been in a match. And Tommy Hellfire, he is a big match competitor. It sounds like a cliche, it is, but it's like he is a big match competitor because he's been there for so long.
We saw it at that moment ago with that attempt of that honor handshake to begin the match, that fear, that hesitation within Owen Steadman. Hopefully that doesn't make its way into the match. Cost him this incredible opportunity to become PCW National Champion.
Hellfire has a lot of advantages, and we're seeing a couple of them at play here. There's the experience, there's the height, there's the size, there's the strength. Steadman is truly the underdog, and we're seeing it right now. Hellfire just controlling Steadman with the wrist lock. Steadman now, that agility, that talent that he learned in his training school over at Gippsland, courtesy of Andy Rhodes, a man who himself knows Tommy Hellfire very, very well. Trying to isolate that arm, and we're seeing the technique now that Owen Steadman has been known for, and oh, look at that, just sort of applying the pressure onto the shoulder to try and control the bigger man. And Hellfire, as mentioned, he's a slugger, he's a brawler, shots to the midsection and drives him down to the mat.
However, the upper hand that Owen will have is that expertise, that knowledge that comes at the hand of Andy, allowing him to almost sort of see through Tommy Hellfire, this confident persona that he has, his willingness to dismiss that younger generation. If anything, that gives Steadman an opportunity to pick through that, to see what Andy has seen.
Look at this, the strikes now into the chest cavity, and he is using his power, his strength, his experience to stay on top of Steadman. But Steadman there with a wild swing, that explosive offense that Steadman is known for. So like I said, yes, Steadman is the underdog, but we know he can do it. We saw in our last show, reaching the brass ring in a 6-man contest, that Steadman had Tommy Hellfire and a cross armbar, and he was about to tap, possibly, if it wasn't for the interference of his tag team partners, the Black Diamonds. But now it's one-on-one, there's no one to tag in and out to, it's these 2 men. And without the chaos of 6 men, perhaps Tommy Hellfire can just control this contest all the way through. Stinging kicks there from Steadman.
Hellfire sends Steadman into the corner. I mean, saw a flurry of forearms earlier from Steadman, unable to slow down Hellfire as he shoulder tackles the lower back of Owen.
Hellfire driving the shoulder into the spine and the big back suplex.
That height difference coming into a play, just dropping him from quite a substantial height. Now, I don't have the sheet in front of me, Andy, but Tommy Hellfire, he's quite a large gentleman, 6'5" plus.
Well, indeed, yeah, he'll definitely be north of that, I would have thought.
To then be dropped from that height, square onto your back.
Look at that, though, the strikes. This is it, the Gippsland Dragon with those strikes. It's what he's brought to the game, it's what he's known for, and he rocked Hellfire just enough. Yeah, a strike from Hellfire, just dropping him down. Goes for the cover, the outside leg is hot, it's tight, it's deep. But Steadman able to kick out, and there's a kick out at 2. So, Hellfire's possibly made quite a bit of ground right here, and look at him, the reverse chin lock.
And that boot smacked the nose of Owen. From what we can see, a little bit of blood dripping out. What a powerful, forceful hit from Hellfire.
Yeah, I was going to say, both these guys, they're hard hitters, so I wouldn't be surprised if you might see the odd swollen eye or a couple of broken noses. So far, we've seen Hellfire focus his offense onto the back of Owen Steadman, which is an interesting choice, I have to say.
I was about to say, is there a tactical advantage here, Andy? Is it something that will impact Owen outside of his general ability to hold his core, kick out at 2?
Obviously, you hurt the back, it's difficult to pick up an opponent. Hellfire's already a large guy, but...
Because as two older gentlemen, we have back pain at the best of times.
Yeah, I try and pick up my daughter and I like twist my knees, standing up off the sofa. But I think for Steadman, it's more that he's a heavy hitter, you know, and he's got some big power moves. And if you keep working on that back, finally you hit a big enough power move, and before you know it, Steadman's not kicking out. And it's all about, as well, just keeping him winded to slow him down. But Steadman, going for those kicks, he's like trying to keep Hellfire at a distance, and it is working. It's especially effective when you consider the reach that Hellfire has, and here's what I'm talking about, the big power offense. Hellfire might be going for a blue thunder bomb here. Oh, and swings him through, and Owen Steadman able to find some separation. The kick up, and the kick to the side of the head.
Ducks it. Drops it up with the boot. We mentioned momentarily that back, though, those shoulder muscles really important in those strikes, in those punches, be able to flow through. Cautionary decision potentially by Steadman to go with the legs, go with those strikes with the feet, removing some of that further impact on his shoulders potentially.
Steadman now back to his feet, a big right, and a receipt there from Tommy Hellfire.
The blood flowing out of the nose.
I was gonna say, yeah, these are some big, heavy shots. Oh, look at that. He caught him right on the back of the head right there. And this is just becoming a big slugfest between the two competitors. And I'm not sure, but those strikes do seem to be aimed to the arms of Tommy Hellfire. I don't know if that's intentional.
Except for that kick right to the side of the face, the Hellfire attempts it.
Oh, look at that, just deadlifted him straight into a German suplex. And I can't deny it, I'm a man of simple taste, and when I saw Owen Steadman German suplex Adam Brooks, that's what I thought, I want this guy on my show. Goes for the cover, but a kick out there by Hellfire. But it wasn't a dominant kick out.
That was close.
Yeah, that wasn't a dominant kick out.
If I'm Hellfire, I'm a little bit rocked. I'm caught off my game. Yeah, let's watch that again. That slow release suplex.
I was going to say it was all technique, all power, all dropped onto the back of his head. And Hellfire, no doubt, feeling a little bit rocked right now. And this is giving Steadman the opportunity to recover, just to find a moment's rest for himself. And he's kissing the gun and shooting the bullet. And oh no!
Hellfire catches him.
Got him in a goozle, choke slam.
Massive choke slam, hooks the leg. Kick out at 2.
And it looked like the Hellfire was trying to hook both legs but wasn't quite able to get it. He certainly didn't have quite the right grip, and that could have been the difference between the kick out and not kicking out. However, Steadman is still alive in this contest, and even Hellfire is looking a little bit concerned that he wasn't able to get the 3 count here.
He thought he had it. Instead, our ref, Dylan McKay, throwing up the 2s. Steadman able to kick out. The crowd here at Ringwood firmly behind Steadman. Tommy sucks, I hear them say.
Well, he's calling for another goozle. He's looking to wrap his hand around the neck of Owen Steadman, but it's almost like Steadman's taking too long for him to get up. And look at this, defiant till the bitter end. Steadman with his fists closed and his arms raised. Oh! And Hellfire just finds this disrespect. He believed there was no grit, that there was no heart in the lad. And there it is, the cross armbar! He said he was gonna have him, and he's got him in the center of the ring. And his trainer, Andy Rhodes, knows that Hellfire is in trouble right now.
We saw it earlier, those kicks, those strikes to the arms of Hellfire. Could they be coming in? Is he cashing in those opportunities, those little moments earlier?
And as Hellfire's hands open, is the title slipping? But no, it looks like he might have caught him. 2, and oh no, He's going to deadlift him up.
The strength of Hellfire drops Steadman down
Into a huge power bomb. And that is the strength and power of Tommy Hellfire.
This is a man that is not a two-time...
Hang on! How's that for grit?
I was going to say, there's a reason this man is a two-time PCW National Champion.
Yeah,
however,
this could be the reason why Owen Steadman's about to become a one-time national champion. But sadly, the daddy long legs there of Tommy Hellfire reaching out and grabbing onto the bottom rope.
If you are Owen Steadman, all I can imagine that you are smelling right now is the iron of your own blood as it fills your nose.
Yeah, but you know what happens when a shark tastes blood?
That's what I was thinking. If anything, it's charged him up. He pulls the bow, pulls the string, pulls the shot.
Huge running drop kick, and now just firing shots. Tommy Hellfire could be spent. He's an older gentleman. He's a heavier gentleman. And Owen Steadman has youthful exuberance and sort of that conditioning on his side. The reversal there from Hellfire. Hellfire falls through. The renowned Tommy combo coming out of the corner.
Drops down the mat, Steadman to his feet, ducks it once again.
Oh no, he caught him this
time. A little
time.
too fast.
Steadman going to the well once too often there. We saw that combination earlier on. Hellfire with a cover. Two. And
Kick out at two. Inching ever closer to three. Let's watch that replay. Ducks it. Hellfire turns it around, sends him down.
Yeah, Hellfire was the quicker guy there. He pulled the trigger first. But look at Hellfire. You've got to believe this isn't the fight he was expecting. He's been telling everyone that the younger generation, they have no grit, heart, no determination. Yet here he is against Owen Steadman, who is the shining example that everyone else in the locker room as to what the future here in AUS Pro Wrestling has in store. And the current generation had better be ready.
Hold from Hellfire.
Hellfire in an act of desperation, going for the choke, and Steadman, Bazaiku knee, goes for the cover.
This could be it.
Two, he's got more. Come on, come on.
Milliseconds away. So close. We could have had the ability to call a new PCW National Champion. Owen Steadman could have brought it home for Gippsland. Instead, Hellfire, that ring awareness, that expertise, that years of knowledge, allowing him to grab that rope once again.
Steadman, could this be an act of desperation? He is certainly rolling the dice on this one. He's going up top, and unfortunately for him, Hellfire has recovered.
His kidneys drapes him across the rope, Andy.
Nothing good.
Hang on, this looks a little unorthodox.
If I know Tommy Hellfire, he is looking for something high impact to finish this off. He wants to kill this dead. And you saw that brief smile. He has it in the bag.
Or at least he believes he has it in the bag. We're not quite there yet. This does not end until someone counts to three or someone is willing to submit.
Steadman.
That is not Steadman. Blast those elbows into Tommy Hellfire's face.
I don't think there's any quit in the very soul of Steadman. It's why he's captured the imagination of so many people. And here it is, Owen Steadman, the national title. It's do or die. The Gippsland Dragon will fly. No!
Oh, nobody home. Nothing but mat for Steadman.
And Hellfire has been working on that torso, and you've got to think that it's just reverberating through the very skeleton now of Owen Steadman.
Whether it be the damage that he has received to the front, whether it be the damage to the back, Hellfire with a clear opportunity. Steadman though.
How is Steadman still alive?
This is the piss and vinegar. This is the younger generation, that desire, that motivation to do more, to see more, to be more.
Oh, look at this. Hellfire is pissed. The slaps, the forearm strikes. He just unceremoniously dumps him, and now in desperation,
That
locks in
chokehold.
the rear naked choke. Dead center in the ring.
It's in deep.
And Hellfire is screaming, tap! He just wants it to be over.
Hang on, Owen's fading.
come on.
He's fading, those eyes closing
Steadman.
ever so slowly. That's one.
2.
Dylan McKay, a referee,
That's it.
forced
He's
to
out.
call it.
Here is the winner by chokeout, and still the PCW National Champion, Tommy Hellfire!
Hellfire might be walking out with a championship, but you cannot deny Owen Steadman brought everything tonight. He brought everything. Every ounce of grit, every tear, every drop of blood. And he came so close, and you cannot deny it, Tommy. There are moments when you thought you were done.
Absolutely. Owen Steadman may not be returning to Gippsland with a belt across his shoulder, but he will be able to hold his head high proudly for the extent at which he went tonight against Tommy Hellfire. You said it just moments ago, little slivers of hope, little spots where Tommy could have easily lost that championship.
If Hellfire was just a few centimeters away from the rope, he might have tapped. If he was just a few moments away, he might have fallen to the Psycho knee. But tonight, Tommy Hellfire, the ultimate survivor, is going to walk out of the Central Ringwood Community Centre. But ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Owen Steadman, who walked into AUS Pro, a practical unknown, and then took the PCW National Champion to the utter limit.
However, still with that belt above his head, Tommy Hellfire continuing his reign as the PCW National Champion. Won it just recently. We mentioned earlier the runner-up earlier in the night. However, solidifying that reign as he pulls Andy aside.
He wants to stare one last time at his opponent here tonight.
Oh.
Steadman is demanding the handshake. He is demanding that handshake, and frankly, he has earned it.
Hellfire unwilling to oblige earlier. However, after the match that he just went through, what he experienced, how could he turn his back on a young man like Owen Steadman?
He's demanding it. He knows he is the future, and he knows he came very close. And there it is, he got the handshake!
It's a little bit, but it'll count.
The real winner here tonight, in some ways, is Owen Steadman. He walked in here an unknown, but he walked out the man, frankly, as far as I'm concerned. What an example for his generation. A big thank you to PCW for allowing their title to be defended here tonight, and also a big thank you for Andy Rhodes, who was able to come down all the way from Gippsland to support his young trainee in this huge moment.
And a big thank you to you for watching this at home, and a big thank you for everyone that turns up here at the Ringwood Community Centre for AUS Pro Wrestling's Generations. As I mentioned earlier, be sure to let us know your thoughts using the hashtag AUS Generations on your social media of choice.
And we are going to be back Saturday, September 13th for AUS Pro Wrestling's new Star Rising, when we will crown our first ever Rising Star Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Lord Andy Coyne.
I have been Ryan Betson.
Thank you, and good night.